You know, I have to give one of the trendsetters these flowers every single time. Big shout out to Mike GLC. Now he's on the LSL Films platform. We sold 360,000 CDs on the streets without a record label. That is crazy. Now, anyone that don't know who Mike GLC is, this is the boy.
How much times I've seen this shit now. Something got licked up. People get nicked now. All of a sudden they start forgetting what it is now. All of a sudden he starts remember he's got kids now. It's nuts how quickly killers remember they got kids again. Woo. And then the dread snitching starts itching in. Woo. Prosecution start making a pitch again. Cold D's start getting shipped again. Oh, tell me about shit again. It's the same fucking nine. It weren't no different then. And I ain't saying nigga don't rise. I'm just saying know a piece of your soul dies. But me, I'm an hypocrite, cause in real life I own a cold 5 and something with less than 0.5 that blows 5. The difference is, I know life. And if I dig up dirt blood, I know why. Ooh. Cars raised around real evil. Weekly consequences that kill people. How much times
Nah, bro, big up to Mike GLC. Hopefully this segment stays in the video. Sometimes I copy strike it. So if you saw a clip, if you saw an edit, you know why. But anyway, let's get into this, man. Let's get into this segment.
There's rumours that on the numbers of tapes that you and your team sold. I wanted to hear it from you. Now, when you look back at the physical copies that you actually sold, how many would you say you sold?
Over 360, definitely. And that would be like of mine over the space of, I don't know, 4 to 5 year period. I was running around about 4 or 5 years.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for
360,000 copies. You see, like, obviously you got the Spotify's and all of that, bro. Monthly subscription. You see hard copy CDs, bro, on the
slow people at the back. That's 360,000 copies.
And that's not to say what we sold of other people's. You got to put it, like, if I put it into comparison, if I put it into more of a flip it, I kept hundreds of youths off the streets for years, and they had to feed themselves every day. And in order to get a youth to want to sell CDs, he's got to make himself at least 200, at least 100, 200 pound a day. So it's not so much what you sell, it's what hustle did you create. Have you created something that becomes a necessity for people around you? And we did. So once you got people that live and breathe off of what they do with you, it is what it is. You get what I'm saying to you? And that's more the pride that I take away from the whole thing. People sit in the numbers, and I'll be real with you, it's probably mother than that, bro. But that's what we know from sales.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. And this is why I don't understand when it comes to artist development, why there's no A&R role for Mike GLC in the record labels.
Of actual manufacturing. Does that make sense? But in general, it's probably more than that. It's over the space of a long period of time, and I was okay financially for a very long time off of the back of that. So I'd say like, but we was also doing other artist projects. We was also doing stuff for other, whether it was, we done stuff with Westwoods, we done stuff with labels, we done stuff with, towards the end we was even sitting down with like U-Channel deciding how we're going to distribute their stuff. I remember one day walking into a meeting with, what's my man used to manage Bashi again? What's my man used to manage Bashi? And George. And he walked into a room, he's gone, "You fucked up the music industry, mate." So I just bought the CD for £1. And there was a time when we first kind of hit, like, and I remember that meeting was him trying to work out how we can multiply this. So at that point, by the time I got to the end of it, I was having companies come to me like, how can we multiply this? How can we multiply what you're doing?
And this is what I mean about musicians, bro. Sell your song for £1, 50p. You're gonna make more money doing that, raising crowd. I got a tape. Just pushing out your tape. People will buy it.
And get it through the tills. Remember, streaming hadn't kicked in yet. But I knew, the thing about the whole CD thing as well, I always knew streaming, I knew something was coming the whole time. There's footage of me sitting in a room with like 20 youths talking about, yo, you lot keep on doing this and watch what happens. Because my whole thing at the time, I was trying to work with Dark and Cole and a few other people, to get these sales registered through tills, to get these sales registered scanned. That was my whole point. So towards the end, that's what I was focusing on, because I knew if I
You register the sales, then your chart, and then there's money, and boom, 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 boom. Big shout out to, obviously, this is what the boy Joe Black had to say about Mike GLC.
Is there anyone you'd like to give their flowers to today?
What, like music-wise or?
Yeah, music-wise.
Do you know what? I've done it before and I'll do it again, because I think this person doesn't get their flowers, and I think some of it is down to them, the way they conduct themselves at times. But I'm gonna say Mike GLC.
Okay.
Do you know why I'm gonna say Mike GLC? Because if I'm being real, I think he is a pioneer, and I think history the history that's trying to get rewritten, they're trying to write him out of it. And I think even like rapping in an English accent, rapping about the streets, maybe not in such a glamorous way or braggadocious way, I think he's very much a pioneer and a trendsetter.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Man. I agree with that. Shout out to Mike GLC, man.
100%, and this is
I'm from where we rubbed our first stainless. School friends became strangers and your mates became famous. Car, you finally got your hands a couple flamers and you're running around in places booting people in their faces. And I know it's immature, but how you blame us when we went from being nobodies to partying with the Rangers, pulling up in spaces, boosting gal up in their faces. When you're caught up in this matrix and there's nothing to replace us and nothing to restrain us and there's nothing to reframe us and nothing to contain us. How can you freaking blame us? This is all they ever gave us. This ickhead life with the entertainers, whether you're kicking a ball or acting a fool or jumping up and down at them, staying at them freaking entertainers. Bro, they don't give like a damn what our freaking pain is. This is why they don't give a damn about what this playlist. Why you think it's genocide murder that's on their playlist? Why you think I don't give a damn about being famous? And this game that I don't play with, yo, I don't give like a damn about, like I might not been the biggest, but definitely been the longest. Might not had the quickest, but definitely been the strongest. When you're talking flows, you're definitely not beyond this. When you're talking,
Come on, man. Come on, my people.
I could do that, then we can make change. But what was happening was the subsidiary lot was sitting behind closed doors organising playlists, and then iTunes made everything a pound and it was gone. That's what happened next, and here we are. But I always knew at the time that if I could, as long as I can get these CDs into people's houses, then I could have a career.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I think one thing that's obviously commendable is you could have had these youths selling anything and you chose music.
Do you know what the irony is? I remember we done Time Out, done an article on, man. And I used to have a quote that I used to say to the youths where you're gonna make a little bit more than you do if you're selling weed, and a little bit less than you would if you're selling our food. So that's what I'm saying. There was an estimate of how much they need to make a day to make this interesting. So that's what I used to focus on. So I was very generous with like percentages. And I got to big up, I'm talking all this shit like it was just me. I got to big up the initial people who put this into play. So how it all initially started, I've told the story a few times. It was Dark and Cold, big up Dark and Cold for starters. So Dark and Cold, they had a shop in West End. And everyone used to go through Dark and Cold. So when I came out of jail, they filmed me coming out of jail, and we put together the first DVD ever. Whether we're talking pop, mainstream, it was the first DVD ever. So Dark and Cold would put this product together. And they got me on this mindset of don't give any away. And at the time it was kind of, it was crazy because you just give away CDs. Don't give none away. Don't give none away. Do you remember them? Don't give none away. I'm like, what are you talking about? Just trust me. Sell each one for 15 quid and see what happens. I did. And I saw what happened. So I'm like, all right, bet. So we go again. So then in that time, I've got...
Powerful, innit? Powerful, boy. Trust me, man.
I'm hearing it. Like, the item got chopped, the braids in my lung, cause this is early 80 Tottenham, we was raised by the monsters, trying to make these fucking arseholes and rape with our uncles, and the boarers and the choppers start replacing the conkers. Boarers in our bag, choppers looking to soak her back. Who was we to know the people we did to was smoking crap, didn't know what crap was, never seen what crap does. To this day I swear to God I've never had a crap buzz, but I used to act up, fuck around and act off.
I said to this day I never had a crap buzz.
I usually got a slab because I knew I'd been a rap cuz. I've been on the stage since the jungle days. Scrap that, been rapping since the Zippy and the Bungle days. Been rapping since 6. Ever since the bits, since I stepped out of jail, I've been rapping like this. Since the pain and the struggle, the game and the us, the guns that we clutch, to tell my niggas them I love.
Yeah, man. My man's a legend. He's a legend, he's a legend, he's a legend.
I'm walking West End, we got the office in West End, we had an office in Hatton Gardens. And I'd keep on walking down the strip and I'd see these 3 guys outside. And this is when CDs were just kind of becoming like burnable. If you don't, do you remember DJ Amersmith?
Yeah.
He used to be out there before and he used to kind of we kind of through him, we kind of knew that there was something going on, we could do it. But I used to see these 3 guys out there. There was one called D-Raw, one called D21, one called Daily. Big up my brothers. So D21 was from America. He was from New York. Well, he's American. So he already knew how this hustling CD mixtape thing already worked. D-Raw was just nuts. He didn't give a fuck about nothing. He was standing out, he'd sell you a blank CD if he had to. Daily, he was a stoic dread with a punch that could put you into next week. These 3 used to stand out there every day and do the CD thing. And one day they come up to me like, I might I want to kind of fuck with you. I'm watching him every day and I kind of give him what Dark and Cold gave him. I said, could you sell this quality? Because I see, could you sell this quality? He said, yeah, good. I gave him a couple, he sold. Oh, cool. And then one day and then I went and bought a burner. I went and bought like a little small stack burner. This was when they wasn't regular then. And I burned up about 200 CDs, I think. And
I remember when man had to go to, you know, that PC World or Curry's or one of them places, and you buy burner CD. Like you have your original, you have your PC, and you buy like 100 blank CDs, and you just copy. That's mental.
Even like giving them to D21. And I remember he phoned me back an hour later saying, gone. So what do you mean gone? He said, they're gone, my nigga. I need more. You need more? I need more on the strip. And this was like just after letter to my girlfriend times. Oh yeah. So I remember they used to have like trade shows in Tottenham Court Road. You remember like
Letter to my girlfriend, you know. Let me see if I can find that quickly. Mike GLC. Hopefully he's not copyrighted, man. Might see if I can find it, man. Please, hopefully you don't get copyrighted, but yeah. Go in this thing.
Like for the machinery, Lord, I went to the court road, bought 2 burners immediately. Said, yeah, we're in business. And that was the rest. My baby mother over there used to pay her £20 to make 100. And we had a whole infrastructure of infantry and sales, and we knew in it. Once it feeds itself, like anything, once it feeds itself, once there's enough money being generated for something to feed itself, it's gonna work in it. So that was what it was. I created something with a set of guys. And then what it was, I had the older guys, and then the youths started to get involved. I had a bunch of youths from over Brixton, Big Up Yo and all them cool youths there, Michael, Leroy. And it was then eventually it turned into something where youths who were outside but didn't necessarily want to go, but wanted to find something to do. They didn't want to get jobs, but they didn't want to. And I used to have a kind of policy, you couldn't, like off the books now, you couldn't do nothing more than weed at the time. Do you get it? We'll help you with that one, but after that, you got to go out the road. So that was kind of like the policy amongst it. So it was perfect for that kind of youth. You just wanted to meet girl, go out of town, and that was one of the best. I think to this day, to one of the only reasons man has relevance to this day, I believe that's in God, and I believe God knows what we created for those youths. And humbly, them youths are still around, man, to this day, and they you know, I get a text a couple days ago saying, Mike, you know. So that was the best part. You know how you help change people's lives.
That's
you know?
sick, man. That's sick, man. That's sick. Very insightful.
The infrastructure you gave people. And just watching them, you'd be in a town, I could be in Nottingham or Manchester, and I'm just watching 20 kids out there just enjoy their life. They're governed as well, you know already. Manny, Brom, big up Dizzle, big up all my brothers. Everyone's governed. It was a good thing to see. It was a beautiful thing.
Yeah, man. Our people, I'm locked in, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Sick.